thanks to Vetri. I think Vetri is the first and the foremost reason for that, for casting me in Polladavan and giving me a role which was not at all typecast, a very interesting role, which was very lovable role. Like anybody would fall in love with Selvan. It's that kind of role.
This is also a criticism that has been kept against him, that he's like changing a lot of things on during the dubbing. And what's your take on that?
No, it is actually he lets his stories grow. So I'm a Karodpati now, actually speaking. So that is the most sustainable way of living. Yeah, if done in a natural way.
So what is this?
No, I'm not collaborating. I'm just a small part of a huge thing called Rajinikanth. Vetri once said while we were shooting, he said, Vijay Sethupathi and you look the most convincing in this film for me.
Hello viewers, welcome to News18 Showsha. This is Kripakar. With us today we have a guest who is like popular in almost all languages in India. Kishore sir, welcome to the show sir.
Hello. Yeah.
So everybody knows that you choose a film for something that's innately that's there in the project. What is something that pulled you to Parachute?
Obviously, we all, like at my age, we all relate to this because we have had parents similar to this, very, very similar to this. Yeah. So it's easily relatable. And yeah, I definitely wanted to explore my father.
Okay.
One thing. And I usually don't choose only good films. I choose decent films also. I choose films for money also. But this is not the one of that kind.
Right. And that's one of my other questions. Like you're a parent as well. And what kind of, after seeing the trailer, I saw this father is kind of who resort to violence, like to correct. And what kind of father you do? What's a burden, or like what is the hard part of being a parent?
Everything is being hard. That too for our generation, because we have experienced something like this before.
Right.
So we don't want to be that. Okay. But we don't know what we want to be, what we have to be. So it's a very confusing and very stressful thing to do and a place to be. But it's a place of constant struggle and constant learning is what I think, what I've experienced.
Okay.
So there's no right thing or right way of doing anything. Right. Anything can go wrong. And once in a while you are given the luxury of going in the right path and feeling it, I've done something right, and the kids are behaving right now, once in a while. The same thing can go wrong the very next moment. Kids are very volatile nowadays,
right,
because of the exposure and their learning and all that. And they're intelligent. They're definitely more intelligent than us. And they know it.
Nowadays, there's a lot of talk around parenting. I think for sure you also, like, we have like faces slaps and all that from our fathers and mothers whenever we do something. But now it's like looked up. There is a frown when those things happen right now. So there is a very thin line between being strict parent and being like a violent or being an abusive parent. How does one tread this path?
No, again, trial and error, that's all. We don't know exactly what is what. We can't define anything. Anything can be defined in any which way. Like you said resorting to violence. Back in those days, it was not at all violence.
Exactly.
It was the right thing to do. It was the best way of bringing up kids. Things have changed a lot. And we are the generation which is stuck in between everything.
Right, yeah, so that's true.
You've seen 3-4 generations in one single life. So being in sync with all the generations is a very tough thing, very stressful thing. That's why I have these acupuncture patches to keep my calm. Just now I went for acupuncture therapy also. We'll need all this to keep ourselves sane.
So you are someone like one of the few actors in South or even in Tamil who enjoy this privilege, who have done a lot of villain roles, but still loved by the audience. Like, for example, in those days when they used to tell stories about Nambiyar, like whenever he comes to a shoot and all, like people around them will like look at him as like a real life villain. But that is not the case with you. Like people love, like, why do you think, like, I think Raghuvaran sir and Prakash Raj sir enjoys this privilege. Like you have that. And why do you think that is?
For me, it was thanks to Vetri. I think Vetri is the first and the foremost reason for that, for casting me in Polladavan and giving me a role which was not at all typecast, a very interesting role, which was very lovable role. Like anybody would fall in love with Selvan. It was that kind of role. Though he was a rowdy, though he used to do things which are not accepted by the society, but he had his own ideology, ideals, and he would stick to it and go to any extent, even punish his own brother for doing something wrong if he felt like that. So something like that was very rare because it is usually people used to accept like they are used to watching typical black and white roles, and so there were very few grey roles. And if Prakash Raj sir and Raghuvaran sir have made it, it's purely because of their performance and talent, and the roles also. They used to play very nice roles also in between those typically bad guy roles. So thanks to those directors who wrote those roles for them, from Mani Ratnam sir to everyone. We have been lucky to get good writers and good directors, and who have believed in actually those actors are brilliant actors.
Yeah.
But for me, being a decent mediocre actor,
this is something you keep doing in all of interviews that I've seen, that you reflect whenever there is an appreciation, like you being what is it, modest, or like what is it?
Realization, self-realization. So I've lived my life for 50 years now. So in these 50 years, I've realized what I am exactly, and what are my capabilities, what are my limitations.
And what are you?
I'm actually nothing.
No, sir. You're a lot of things. You're a farmer. You're an actor.
I can't define myself with that also. I'm a hobby farmer. That's all. I go once in a while, do whatever I can. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying whatever I'm doing, gaining little experience from everything, whatever I'm doing. I know that I'm interested in farming. I know I'm interested in storytelling. So I know my interest now. I don't know really whether I know myself or what. It's a kind of continuous process, just like we do parenting. The same thing.
And I have seen you speak a lot about farming, your interest for farming, and we have seen your farm. Like there are a lot of videos about your farm as well, which is brilliant. But something that I think you have not, a lot of people have not asked you is like philosophy of farming, like living off the land. That is a philosophy. Like you can be sustainable. Like a man does not have to be part of the market. That is one of the. Can you just share about the philosophy of living off the land?
Yeah, farming is a very sustainable way of living. That's what attracted me after some point of time. In the beginning, it was more romantic. I wanted to be in near a forest, next to a water body, next to a mountain, is what I had dreamt of. And one of my friends actually called me one day saying that, you come, I have land here, we have a land here, you could just come and see, you'll like it. I went, I saw the land, it was perfect. Actually, the way I had dreamt of, it was the land, the place where I wanted to be. So I had taken a loan for constructing the house. I just took that money, gave it there. It took 3 more years for me to get that money back, like earn that money and start building again. Got scolded by everyone. But still I wanted to do that, and I did it. So it was that romantic. Then later on, after I started doing it, started learning, started understanding. It took a long time because to fence itself was a huge area. To fence itself, I took 2 years to earn that money to fence. During that period, I learned a lot. Just used to go roam around there. I know every stone where it is in that land. So I know each and every corner of that land. I know everything about that. Almost most of it. It was a long learning experience. After which I learned that it's the best way to live.
Right.
And I found the best working partner in the land or the nature, to be precise. The whole thing, the whole ecosystem was the right partner to work with, because it doesn't differentiate between any of us. So whatever I am, or whoever I am, whichever religion I belong to, caste I belong to, it doesn't matter to the land or the nature at all. So it'll interact with you. The more you learn, the more you are in sync with it, the more it'll start giving you back. So it was a wonderful experience. And being sustainable, farming is one of the most sustainable ways. If you understand, do it the natural way. Do it the nature's way. You have to be there, slowly understand the nature's way. Then it will become totally sustainable. So even farming is sustainable, but still we'll be exploiting a lot of resources, natural resources, to farm also.
Right.
So to do nothing like Fukuoka and learn it and do the nature's way and get whatever it gives you, use whatever it gives you. That actually nature gives an abundance for everyone. Even Gandhi said, Nature can provide for the need of the man, not greed of the man. So whatever is needed, nature will definitely provide. Even a small piece of land will also provide plenty for us. So it is how you see it and how you learn from it. Even today, people ask me, what is it? It's not there. There is a word. I don't know what they use. I forgot. Feasible. They ask me if it is feasible. They say you have to put a lot of money into it. Yes, I put a lot of money into it because of my mistakes, because I am not being able to be present there full time. If I'm there full time, I don't need anyone to support me. I can at least minimum 2-3 acres. How much of a land you have, you can maintain it alone all by yourself. It depends on how you think about getting the returns from it or whatever you want to earn from it. Once you start measuring it with money, everything goes wrong. Right. So because you can't measure the amount of soil I save in money, you can't measure the amount of air I purify in terms of money. You can't measure anything. Water, air, soil, all that I preserve, I actually grow. It's growing soil actually. I can claim credits for that. If you let it be the way it is, it'll start producing more and more soil, good soil, microbes, everything. So all that can't be measured by money at all. If you measure, they have done actually, a few agroeconomists have done that also. It goes in crores. So I'm a crorepati now, actually speaking. So that is the most sustainable way of living. Yeah, if done in a natural way, if done the nature's way.
And do you think there is this aspect of farming or agriculture that has not been documented in our films, mainstream cinema? Because whenever we touch farmers topic there, we come with a certain mood and tone to that subject. Do you think that needs to be changed or something that you want?
Yeah, this needs to be added to it, I think.
Right.
Because there have been experts in cinema who have done cinema the way it is now, which is the right way of reaching the people. Within that, I think we have to start bringing in all these things. There have been efforts, and people will do it like part by part. Like it depends on how much you want to tell, how much people can digest, how people can receive, and how good a storyteller you are. So it depends on all those things. People have been trying. There has been a continuous, a lot of actors, directors, just like Vetri Maaran. He's also into farming now. Once somebody like him starts doing something, he'll go deep into and explore more than whatever I have. I've just done it very superficially.
And what is that you and Vetri Maaran sir share that's like he likes you to be part of all of his films. Like almost you're playing a role in Viduthalai 2 as well. The trailer has come out. So what is that magic that happens when you guys come?
Thanks to him. He has been kind enough to provide me the opportunities. I think it's the ideologies that match, ideologies and the thought process and certain interest in animals, interest in farming, all these things. I think all these things make us similar human beings. That's what I think that's what works. When you work together, with somebody who thinks the way you think, it's always easy. There is a lot of energy syncing with each other. That actually helps to work also, to be comfortable at working, to deliver, to do whatever is supposed to be done.
He's pretty hard-headed, right? Like he's like a bit Vetri Maaran sir is like, how is it to work with him as like a friend and also a frequent collaborator?
It's very easy. I mean, it's been very, very easy for me, very, very comfortable for me. So he knows us very well. He knows his actors very well. That shows when we dub for his films. He would for Vadachanai, the final cut, first cut was quite long. They had to concise it to 2 hours 40 minutes. So he had to redo a lot of things, cut a lot of things, to link them. We had to read up a lot of things, change a lot of lines to link all those chopped off pieces together. So that he would do just sitting with us in the dubbing room. He would sit with us only. He would have said something in the film and he would just sit and say, Kishore, you just say this line, this line will link all those things. And we are so confident of his judgment of us that we would just do it.
Right.
Just close my eyes and do it, because syncing is again a problem for me, because I'm not a Tamilian and I have that problem with the language. So I take a lot of takes to get it right. I just close my eyes and do it. Then if you look at the visual played with the audio, it would sync perfectly. We would even forget what was told before. He would only ask, "What did you say before this?" I don't know. I think I said only this only. He knows his actors that well. So,
and this is also a criticism that has been kept against him, that he's like changing a lot of things during the dubbing. And what's your take on that?
No, it is actually he lets his stories grow.
Okay.
With the characters.
Right.
That's what even he has mentioned to me a couple times. His characters are very strong.
Right.
He creates very strong characters to build the story for him. So he doesn't manipulate those characters. He lets the characters grow the way they are. The characters grow the way they are according to their experience. And if they change also, it will be very organic. So when you do that, the story can go anywhere and to any lengths. So you can't control, because if you control the characters, to control the story, grow the story, you have to control the characters. He doesn't do that. He feels that is cruel to the characters. So he lets the characters grow. So that's why he ends up shooting a lot of footage, which will actually, I'll be very happy to watch an Adakalam series and a Vadachennai series. We had a lot of footage and a lot of things which actually needed to be told, needed to be shown to the audience. So he does work like that. When you work like that, when you deliver the market demands a shorter version of the film. I think his film should be let the length. If he has shot 4 hours or 5 hours, you should show it to
Actually,
other
there
people.
are films like that.
Like Gangs of Wasseypur. So they made it into 2 parts and showed it. So Vetri should be around. He should not be contained. He should actually start showing the whole film to the audience.
Another frequent collaborator with you is Rajinikanth. He done 3 films with you, like Kavali and last film Vetain, and even for that you did a cameo and extended cameo on what's the film?
Jailer.
Yeah, Jail. So what is this?
No, I'm not collaborating. I'm just a small part of a huge thing called Rajinikanth. He's huge, and I'm really grateful that I have the privilege of being a part of his films. Thanks to the directors. The first thing was Ranjit, because at that time I think the next film was Robo 2, I think. Yeah. Then in that film the negative lead was Akshay Kumar. So even in this, it was supposed to be, I think Jet Li was supposed to play the main negative role in Kabali.
Okay.
But the rest of the actors were from theatre because of Ranjit. Ranjit wanted to bring in actors from theatre, introduce them through Rajinikanth to the audience. So they'll have a big audience. Even today, there are a lot of actors who came out of that and are doing quite well. Good job in films. So it's a nice process when big stars take in beginners, small actors, smaller fringe actors, all these actors, and we showcase them through their films. They'll be sharing their audience with us. So whenever we are trying to do something meaningful or something what we think is meaningful, good films, small films which don't have that much financial backing, these audience will come and help us. So that's how it has to be done, I think. It's a great thing. Thanks to every one of them.
Lastly, leaving you with this question, what can we expect from Viduthalai, your character? Because he's a communist. He's a communist leader. And you said you have a lot of ideological similarities with Vetri Maaran. Do you have ideological similarity with the character that you're playing in the film as well?
Vetri once said while we were shooting, he said, Vijay Sethupathi and you look the most convincing in this film for me. Maybe because the ideologies match, even Vijay Sethupathi feels the same way. So it's really nice. And I expect and I know that this is going to be a very honest film.
Right.
Because Vetri has been known to do that. So honesty becomes very important because he has created an audience which is open-minded through all his films. If you watch his filmography, you'll see that he has let the audience question him, think with him, question with him. Dialogue. There is a dialogue, continuous dialogue with the audience, through which he has actually made the audience more broad-minded, more open-minded when they come and watch the films. I hope that happens with every one of the filmmakers, so that the director is not judged before watching the film. So if you come with an open mind, people start taking everything, and there'll be a nice dialogue between the audience and the filmmaker. And that is what cinema is supposed to do, I think. So you can definitely expect an honest, very honest film.
Okay, thank you for talking to News 18.
Thank you.